We mentioned Boolean values earlier when we were talking about the primitive data types. Boolean variables can hold one of two values, true or false. This fundamentally gives our program the ability to answer yes or no questions. To ask those questions, we form Boolean expressions using comparison and logic operators. The comparison operators let us compare values against each other to get a Boolean value out. For example, we can check if one integer variable holds a value less than that of another using the less than operator. There are comparison operators for all the basic math comparisons we can do. Notice that the not equal to comparison operator has an exclamation point in it. An exclamation point by itself is used to negate a Boolean expression. So we can take any Boolean variable or expression and throw an exclamation point in front of it and get the opposite value. If the expression yields true, the negation will make that value false. This negation is one of the logical operators. There are also logical operators for and or. Two Boolean values ANDed together only yields true when both inputs are true. ORing two Boolean values yields true whenever either inputs is true. Being able to ask these yes or no questions is cool and all, but it's only really useful if we can do something different depending on what the answer is. That's where control flow statements come in. These are structures in our code that control what path the computer takes through the code based on Boolean conditions. The simplest of these control flow structures is the if statement. An if statement checks a condition and only runs its body if the condition evaluates to true. If the expression is false, nothing from the body gets run, and the program jumps to the first line after the if statement's body. You can also add a second block of code that is run when the condition is false. This is done with the else keyword. In this example, the first block runs if number is odd, and the second block runs if number is even. You can combine else and if to give your program more than two options. Here we have distinct code paths for when number is less than 0, equal to 0, and greater than 0. Sometimes we want to take one of many different paths based on the specific value of an integer. While we could write this out as many chained else-if statements, there is another control flow statement called a switch that can do this for us. A switch statement takes a variable or expression of any integral type and specifies any number of cases that indicate where the code should jump to if our expression matches that value. The break keyword is used to indicate the end of the case. Without it, you'll actually keep running through the rest of the cases. This is a quirk of switch statements that can sometimes be really useful. Finally, there's the default case, which is used if the value of our expression doesn't match any of the other cases. There are more control flow statements than just if and switch, but we'll save that for another video.